All right, everybody, welcome in. How are you doing today? This is a reading for whoever needs to hear this message. Don't really know what the topic is yet or what the title is yet, but we will get there. If the title resonates for you, then there's a message in this reading for you. Okay, so let's just see where we go this week. I am going to be starting my Twin Flame Astrology group on Thursday at noontime Eastern Time. If you want to jump onto that and learn about astrology as it relates to Twin Flame, there is a link below. In Pathfinders on Wednesday, we're going to continue our work with intuition and harnessing your intuition. So that's also there as well. So let's see what wants to come out in this reading. Ooh, all right. Damn. Power. Shift. New moon. Karmic path. What's underneath here is very loud. Good fortune. The cards that are underneath have been speaking to me. I'm just going to get the two on. Ooh, jealousy. Okay. And trust. There's definitely, wow, power games going on. I know that I recall that in school, I remember there was one particular frenemy I had, and my mother used to just say to me, "Oh, she's just jealous." And I used to think that was a ridiculous thing to say because I was like, what is she jealous of? I think she's really pretty and she seems to have, but there were several people. There comes the sun. There were several people that I came in contact with that had this same this same kind of energy with me. And it's almost like you trust people. I'm speaking to somebody here who trusts people too easily or lets people in your life too easily who really want to disrupt it or who really want to sort of keep you from getting what you want in life. And that can be family members too. It doesn't just have to be friends or potential partners or anything like that. What's going on underneath is there is a big shift right now. Hi, Maze. There is a big shift right now, a karmic shift. We are going to have, this is, a little ways away in May, but we are going to have Jupiter shifting into Gemini as we get closer to that. I'll talk about it. But this is the new moon, and we are about a week away from this big eclipse in Aries. It's a new moon, and that still holds. So a lot of the talk around the eclipse is eclipse. Okay. What eclipse means is it's activating. It's activating whatever it's coming in contact with. So if you have anything at 19 degrees Aries or anything at all at 19 degrees, including your ascendant, including your midheaven or anything like that, especially at 19 degrees Aries or 19 degrees of a cardinal sign, Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer, then you will be highly activated in terms of some kind of power dynamic. Okay. Some kind of power dynamic and a power shift. So if it's always been a certain way with your mom or your sibling or a friend or something like that, if it's always been a situation where they have had power over you or you have let them have power over you, this is changing. This is changing, right? And it is on your karmic path for this to happen. It is bringing in good fortune. Like I said, Jupiter is going to be shifting in May into Gemini. It's going from Taurus into Gemini. Anytime Jupiter changes a sign, it stays in a sign for about a year. Anytime Jupiter changes a sign, that's a big deal. And I will talk a little bit this week. I'm going to talk more about the astrology this week of that Aries eclipse. I'm going to talk about Jupiter square Uranus in Taurus, which happens right before, it's at like 21 degrees, I think. So it happens before Jupiter ingresses into Gemini. And that conjunction is going to be very loud in terms of our comfort zone and pushing you to reinvent yourself. There's going to be a lot of people who are wanting to reinvent things. It could be generationally because it's Uranus, right? Uranus is a very distant planet. It moves generationally. And Jupiter is about expansion. So Expansion comes from wanting to reinvent yourself and shifting out of a comfort zone of some kind. Okay. So that's shifting in, that's coming in. This jealousy thing with power games and stuff like that. I've been listening to, I forget the author's name, but he's being interviewed. I think the podcast is Diary of a CEO. And I want to say Robert Greene, but I think that might be not correct. The book is The 48 Laws of Power, and it just talks about a really fascinating book. I read it a long time ago. I think I'm going to read it again, but he does talk quite a bit about us being power games, and of course he does, because that's the that's the title of the book. But there is something about reinventing yourself, and there's a lot in there about claiming your own shadow and how powerful that can be. It's when we push the things we don't like about ourselves. That's what our shadow is. We push them down and push them down and push them down, and they erupt in terms of you can lash out, or you can be like, why is this so upsetting to me? Like, you can have one of those moments. Why is this so upsetting to me? That's because the shadow is peeking through. Okay. Yep. There it is. Oop, there it is. 9 of Swords, 4 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Page of Wands, and the Lover's card. Oh, look at this. Ace of Cups coming up, and the Empress. I like that. So a healed relationship. Now, this might be a different message, but it's based on the same conversation I was just having with you about shadow. And I just feel like some of you are going to be having some breakthroughs. I think I do want to do, a lot of you have been talking with me about your Saturn return. Saturn going back to the place where it was when you were born happens every 28, 29 years. So when you're 29 years old, and then again when you're like 57, 58, that's called a Saturn return. And it's like the teacher comes back to the classroom to be like, how are you progressing on all the work I've given you? Have you really done this work? And I feel like some things are coming through now that are showing you, especially with Jupiter going to be ingressing into Gemini from Taurus. Taurus is about the foundations that we create. It's Venus energy, and it's about what makes us comfortable or feel like home. And sometimes if you've had a home situation that isn't exactly supportive or good for you, you may have morphed that into thinking that that's normal, but it's not normal, right? And you have these like aha moments about that like, why can't I move forward with healthy relationships? Why can't I have a healthy relationship with this particular person? And you may just recognize that they're not healthy, but you're also connecting each other because you're still living from a paradigm that isn't healthy. So we'll call the paradigms not healthy. People have the capability of being healthy. We all have that capability. It's whether we embrace it or not. And I feel like you might recognize that, oh, wow, I've been trying to get love from someone who is jealous of me or is a power dynamic, and that's more what they're interested in. They're more interested in, this could, verge on our conversation about narcissistic partners again, but it comes from somewhere. It comes from a paradigm that you tapped into when you were a kid, or you were impacted by as a kid. It can really debilitate your trust. It can make you feel like, why do I always attract narcissists? Why do I always attract toxic people or people who are married or whatever? Because you're on that same wavelength. You're thinking that's all you deserve. Okay? You're thinking that's all you deserve. And then you go, wait a second. Wait a minute. If I want to have healthy relationships, which I do, I'm going to become healthy myself. And I'm not going to try to keep getting blood from a turnip, right? I'm not going to try to go to people who are unavailable to give me love. I keep banging my head against the wall with this pattern. And, oh, okay, these are not the people who are going to be in a relationship with me in a healthy way. They're unconscious. They don't know what's going on with them. They just think everybody else is at fault. They're, that's that kind of person. And they just are wallowing in victimhood or wallowing in their own unconscious power dynamic. And it's like, no, aha, this Aries eclipse, because Aries is about us. It's about who we are. And to take a bold step, to take a bold shift, to take this action is going to shift this whole dynamic. Some of you are going to cease to attract toxic people when you recognize that there's something in you, there's some energy or frequency that they tune into. And it's not that like, oh, you're a narcissist too. If you've ever like wondered if you're a narcissist, I can tell you, you're not. Narcissists don't wonder if they're narcissists. Okay? So, but there's a companion frequency of someone who's codependent. And that's why those people get in there and they hook you. Okay? So this is about closing that up. And it's not, you're not cementing over something. What you're doing is you're bringing it out into the daylight. You're bringing it out into the daylight so you can look at it and go, okay, this is where my triggers come from. This is where all this is coming from. And I'm going to step into unconditional love. I'm going to do the healing work. Awareness is good, but it's not the only thing. It's not the last step. It's just the first step. Like once you're aware of these things, then what are you going to do about it? Okay. So let's see where we go here. The Knight of Wands, the King of Swords, the Eight of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Two of Wands, Five of Cups. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Knight of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, and Seven of Swords. So I feel like you have this aha moment about, in the past, I've always been attracting these kinds of maybe ungrounded people or people who are not what you want. Like you're saying to yourself, well, I want someone healthy. I want to connect with friends who cheer me on. I want to connect with people who are also expanding, also growing, also excited and interested in life, similar kinds of activities I am. But I keep attracting this. There's a frequency that needs your attention. So aha moments, King of Swords and the Eight of Wands. It's like you won't run away from, no, hold on. Something about running away here. There's something about running away and escaping. And I feel like the people you're attracting are also running away and escaping from something. Yes. Running away and escaping from something. Okay, what is that about? You may feel like, well, I'm just, I'm trying to move forward with my life, but there can be a bit of escapist quality to this. What is that about? Moon. Okay, here's the moon again. Ooh, High Priestess, the Six of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. It takes work and effort. This is not a weekend project. This is going to take work and effort and into like subconscious, like dealing with your subconscious, doing maybe healing work around that, stepping into more meditative practices, using this moon energy in Aries, this new moon in Aries, to plant the seeds of a new you. Okay. It makes me feel I just want to say this to you, that sometimes, and I will count myself among this kind of mindset, that if we change, if we step into changing, that will mean the other person wasn't wrong to hurt us, because then we had to change. That's what they were telling me. They were telling me that I was the one, that I was the damaged one, all this kind of stuff. And they're not exactly wrong, but they're wrong with their intention. Their intention is to hurt you by saying that. Their intention is to sort of liberate themselves, make themselves feel better about themselves. But they also are in that unhealthy space. They just choose not to see it. So you're basically taking back your power by saying, I'm going to shift out of this, and y'all can go whistle. Okay, I'm shifting out of this. I get to leave. You have to stay with you guys. Like, I don't want to be there anymore. I'm going to sit in my energy of power. And that has to do with connection to spirit. It has to do with going deep and really seeing the parts of yourself that need loving. because you weren't getting that from any of these people, especially this whole power and jealousy thing. Woof. Okay. This whole power and jealousy thing. So it's not even really, it's not even about shifting. Well, I'm just going to move on and you're just going to, I'm just going to leave you behind and everything like that. Like, okay, that's a step, but it's almost like what can happen is you have some kind of guilt backlash later on that, oh, I should be reaching out to them. Oh, what a terrible thing I did. But what I'm seeing here is there's a shift to like, actually, no, that was right. That was right. You know why it was right? Because you're choosing to have healthier people around you. You're choosing to do things that are healthier for you. They've proven they can't do it. They've proven they can't do it. And maybe they can, but not with you and not right now. Okay? There's a time and space for you to become the person that you want to become, the person that has healthy relationships and isn't really in these power games all this time. So the Two of Wands, making a decision. Yeah, is there going to be loss or letting people go? You bet. You bet there's going to be loss and letting people go. So I feel like putting in the time and effort. I'm going to clarify this a little bit because the four of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, you might be in some kind of secret connection. You might be in some kind of secret connection that is catalyzing this, that is activating this desire to learn again. Okay. So I'm going to continue on with this reading. I'm going to wait before I go. I'm going to clarify this Seven of Swords. I almost feel like you might have been hiding from yourself or lying to yourself or really holding yourself back from your life. Yeah. Five of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Three of Swords, Justice. We're now balancing this out. So let's talk about this new moon in Aries, the eclipse, and we are being activated to a path of better fortune. This is Saturn energy, and it is about us doing the work. So I like this. Talk to me more about, I feel like this is also a possibility. You're stepping into something that is going to be healthier for you, a lot better for you, but only when you make that shift. If the goal is to make this dynamic that I've been sitting in for all this time, to make that person love me back or make that person be the person I think they are, and that means that they'll love me and you'll get love from this person or something like that, or you'll get attention from this person or something like that. When the real power is when you decide to walk away from that and say, no, that person's not capable of giving me what I want or need. And so the goal shifts. The goal shifts. The goal is not to, well, how can I manipulate this person into giving me what I want? Sorry, all due respect. The answer is I'm going to go and do my healing work. And then people who are also healthy, they can engage in a healthy relationship with me. They can engage in that. All right. So that's really awesome. So let's see where we go. One more thing before I move on. Sorry, I can't help myself here. This Eight of Wands is about messages that want to come in. Messages that want to come in. Wow. Healing, the Star, codependency, the 10 of Wands there, the 7 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Pentacles. I feel like some of you have dabbled in healing a little bit, maybe, and then rocked back into these toxic relationships or these toxic dynamics. You could have seen them in a boss. You could have seen them, I mean, you name it. So let's move forward. I'm going to go deeper into this. I feel like some of you are becoming a healer because you're rocking or shifting out of this old dynamic. Wow. All right. If you want to continue on with me, the link is below. I'll see you over there. All right. I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.